Tonight, I want to talk about the movie Old Henry. This movie is written and directed by Potsy Ponciroli, and it stars Tim Blake Nelson, Scott Haze, Gavin Lewis, and Stephen Dorff. This movie sees a man and his son in the early 1900s in Oklahoma trying to take care of their farm as their world is just turned upside down by a stranger showing up that they have to decide, do they protect him or not, from people that show up to get him. Very simple premise, and it's executed really well. I found myself really enjoying this movie. Now, is it a movie that we've seen before? Yes, it is a movie that we've seen before, but it's almost like they use the Western as just a backdrop. It doesn't even have to be a Western. We have this man protecting his family from everything that he's seen in his life. There's a lot of allusions to this guy has not always been just this simple farmer. And that they lay that out beautifully in this movie. The score really builds that tension that you want to see in a movie like this. And it is executed just very, very well. I found myself kind of on the edge of my seat the whole time wondering what was going to happen. It's a really tight runtime. It's about an hour and a half. And Tim Blake Nelson is so good. I don't know why he isn't leading more movies, but he is just wonderful in this movie. Scott Haze and Gavin Lewis, they just anchored this movie so well. I thought that Gavin Lewis's performance as just like kind of this rebellious teenager was just on point. If you know any type of rebellious teenagers, it was played perfectly. Scott Haze as this stranger, Curry. I loved the interactions with him and Old Henry. It just helped build the trust or tension, or what, can we trust this guy, can we not trust him? I loved the buildup of this movie. Ironically, Stephen Dorff was a little weak in the role. I don't know if it was a lack of screen time or there were too many people to kind of split that role, but he was a little weak. He's a really good actor. I love him in a lot of stuff. I just feel like maybe the character wasn't developed enough, maybe, because they really threw the development onto Old Henry and the people directly around him. And so maybe that just kind of suffered there. But all of that taken in, I'm actually going to have to give this movie a 4.0. It was a really good movie. I highly recommend you go see it. It doesn't matter if maybe you say, well, I'm not really into Westerns. That doesn't matter. That's just the backdrop of what is actually happening in this movie. And, just real quick, Trace Adkins plays a very minor role in this and just blew me away. I don't know if the filmmaker was like, okay, we need to just give you this little bitty role where you can actually be good, but he was actually really amazing. It looked really natural, because a lot of times you get a country music star into a movie and they're really chewing on their lines, kind of fumbling over themselves, but that didn't happen in this movie. And he delivers kind of a pivotal line that's delivered in the trailer, and it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel fake. He did it really well, and so I actually liked it. So if you do see this movie, I want you to let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I really did enjoy it, and I hope that Tim Blake Nelson continues to get these types of roles, because he did it really, really well. I loved him in it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought and if you plan on seeing it. And I will see you next time.